It is day 24 of my water fast, and today I just have a quick lesson that I'm learning, and then I've got your tip for you. I know that we've talked about this over and over again. Sometimes I guess I can be thick-headed, but also sometimes a lesson that God gives you requires iteration and reiteration just over and over again. So I know you've heard me talk about this before. One of the 3 pieces of instruction that God has given me is that I am to budget, learn how to post my content, and portions. And so budget being first and foremost, he's put me on a budget. So the lesson here is to stick to your budget. I need to stick to my budget. And my story is that, so I've been picking at my cuticles. I've been working a lot, and all of my hours that I'm not working, I am working on learning these new skills to post my content. So I am constantly in the library. And I've been picking at my cuticles. And so you know how I love to get my nails done, and I go once a week to get a fresh manicure. Well, today I really needed to jump the gun and go get my cuticles done. So I wouldn't be picking at them. And then I generally, when I get gel on my nails, I don't pick up my cuticles. So I sprung the extra, $15 to get gel on my nails. To prevent the picking. And anyway, I worked it out. It was a calculated decision. And so it's not that I would not have been able to afford it. It was simply that when it came time to pay, I felt that nervous tingling. Like I knew that this was like I was stretching it, that like I shouldn't pay for something like this because it wasn't in the weekly budget. Like I hadn't originally planned for this. And so I'm trying to adhere to this budget. So it made me pause and step back, and it was a calculated decision. I made it consciously. But at the time that it came down to it, it was causing my stress to rise. And when your stress rises, your blood sugar goes up. And it definitely caused stress within me. And so I think that regardless of whether or not it's manageable or not, the point here is that if it causes you stress, then it's not worth it. And so I learned that lesson, and moving forward, I won't push myself. If it's causing me stress, I simply won't go there. I want to be at ease within my body. And so this is all part of it, right? So that's kind of the lesson. So the tip here is to wear a continuous glucose monitor while you're fasting. I wear a continuous glucose monitor all the time. All the time. I've worn it since January. I've worn a continuous glucose monitor. A continuous glucose monitor, for those of you who don't know, or a CGM, stands for continuous glucose monitor. It's a medical device used to track glucose, like blood sugar levels, in real time throughout the day or night. So it's continuous, it goes 24/7. It's especially helpful for those that are diabetic, and it helps provide data on their blood sugar, helping them better manage their condition. So a couple of features about the continuous glucose monitor is it's got a sensor. This goes into the interstitial fluid, and that's what it reads to test your blood sugar. It's got a transmitter, so it goes straight to your iPhone, so you can get real-time readings, and then your alerts. So if you have a glucose spike, it will alert you to that, and then you can see what the conditions were that caused that glucose spike. Was it something you ate on an empty stomach? Was it strenuous exercise? It just alerts you to a glucose spike. So for those of you who are not diabetic but want to measure your blood sugar and track and see how certain foods affect your blood sugar and things like that, but using a continuous glucose monitor while you're fasting is incredibly helpful to help track how your body responds to extended periods without food. Here are some key benefits that I just kind of wrote down off the top of my head. So a CGM tracks fluctuations in long-term fasting in your blood sugar. it gives you insight into what times you become hypoglycemic. So there are times that your blood sugar goes lower. For me, it's midnight and 5 a.m. That's when I dip below 70. But for the most part, I'm hanging 10 at about 75, which is between 75 and 85, which is where you want to be. It also gives you insight into events that affect your blood sugar, such as a stressor or a stressful event like today's expense. I went from 75 to 100 in a matter of minutes. That just indicates that I was stressed at that time. Not worth it, but it gives you that insight right away. It also measures how efficiently my body is using fat for energy. So again, that being the primary source of energy, it just shows that I'm very stable between 75 and 85 milligrams per deciliter. It also gives me a baseline for my fasting blood sugar, which is that 75 through 80. And it will give me insights into when I end my fast, how certain foods affect me on a fasted stomach. So this is really helpful for not only when I break fast, like this long-term fast, but it also helps me when I break fast for the day, every day. So intermittent fasting is a way of life for me. I generally do not consume breakfast. After dinner, I will generally go 16 to 18 hours before I eat. It's not a hard science for me. It's just there's usually an extended period of time. And when I break fast, it's how I break fast. And so it gives me insight into how certain foods affect me on empty stomach. It also helps me read in the order in which I consume, how that helps manage my blood sugar so that I don't see glucose spikes and therefore I don't have crashes. So I don't have spikes and then crashes and then I'm craving. And then by preventing those spikes, it also helps me control my appetite. So it's a very helpful tool. And then again, for intermittent fasting, it gives you insights into how to break fast. It's helpful. I thought that it was relevant today because of my lesson that I'm learning. Stress causes your blood sugar to rise. So if you are in the habit of managing your blood sugar and wanting to manage it well, decreasing the amount of stress in your life or knowing exactly what type of stressors cause your blood sugar to rise could be very, very helpful to you. But I thought these two very much tied together, and I thought I would add this into the pool of helpful tips while you're fasting so that you will have that insight into how wearing a CGM can be incredibly helpful while you're fasting to help you track to see how your body responds to extended periods of time without food. So thank you so much for watching. This is day 23. If you like my tips and you enjoy my daily vlogs, remember to like and subscribe to How to Save My Life.